Japan isn't very Christian.
Despite claiming to be the final resting place of Jesus, Shingo, let alone Japan, doesn't have a large Christian population. There is only one self-identified Christian in Shingo, and there isn't a church for 30 miles. Only 1% of Japanese people identify as Christian, with the majority religions being Buddhism and Shintoism. In fact, Japan persecuted Christians within its borders for more than 200 years until about 1868.
Jesus has descendants everywhere.
The Shingo legend isn't the first to state that Jesus fathered children. There are several different lines of belief that think Jesus has descendants around the world. Didn't you read the Da Vinci Code? Well, the Takenouchi documents claim that Jesus' legacy is all over Shingo. The Christ Museum claims that the local dialects have Hebrew words. The Swagachis, a family of garlic farmers from the Shingo area, are thought to be direct descendants of Jesus and his Japanese wife. They even supposedly had some blue-eyed offspring, even though the likelihood of a Sephardic Jesus having blue eyes was slim to none.
Jesus was a centenarian, husband and farmer.
When Jesus returned to Japan at the age of 37, following a 4-year journey after escaping Judea, he became a quiet and peaceful farmer. By that time, he wasn't going by Jesus Christ anymore. He was known as Takenouchi, and he either farmed garlic or rice or maybe both, as sources are conflicting. The celestial Jesus even found pleasure in the company of a terrestrial woman. He married a woman named Miyuko and had 3 children. He lived a long, simple life and died at the age of 106.
Israel acknowledged but didn't legitimize Shingo.
In 2004, Gilly Cohen, the Israeli ambassador to Japan, visited Shingo and gave them a plaque in Hebrew. But Gil Haskell, a representative from the Israeli embassy, said that the visit and plaque did not legitimize the fantastic story. He said that Hebrew tribes could have migrated to Japan at some point, but left it at that. He described the plaque as a symbol of friendship, rather than an endorsement of the Jesus claims.
Jesus traveled back to Japan, stopping in America on the way.
After Jesus escaped crucifixion and fled Judea, he traveled for 4 years and over 6,000 miles to get back to Japan. With his mother's hair and his brother's ear in tow, he marched across what is now modern-day Siberia. He even briefly found himself in America, Alaska, to be specific during his journey. From Alaska he sailed to Japan, and then resettled back in Shingo.
Business is steady for the small Christian site.
Shingo is a very remote town in northern Japan, in the south-central Aomori prefecture, but this doesn't stop some 20,000 visitors of all faiths from making a pilgrimage to the alleged holy spot. They pay a 100 yen fee to get into the site, which is less than a US dollar. Of course, profiteering wouldn't be the Christian way. The site isn't maintained so much by entrance fees as it is by a local yogurt factory, but visitors can spend more money at the Shingo gift shop.
The Christ Festival happens every spring in Shingo.
Every springtime, Shingo stages the Christ Festival. Women in kimonos dance around Jesus' grave, singing in a mysterious language. The lyrics of this song have a strange language that is not Japanese, and some people say that it's based on Hebrew, said Ryan Taro, a tour guide to Shingo. The town has been staging this festival since 1964.
Takenouchi documents supposedly came from the mouth of Christ.
This legend comes from the fantastical Takenouchi documents. The documents were found in 1936 and then destroyed after WW2. But a 3-volume English language translation now sits in the Christ Museum in Shingo. Apparently, the content of the documents came directly from the mouth of Jesus as he lay dying in the village. They were later transcribed, then retranscribed according to legend. But in reality, the documents as seen in the museum today are the work of cosmorcheologist Wado Kusaka. This is a man who would later make a name for himself by trying to summon aliens on live TV.
Jesus' little brother was crucified in his place.
According to the legend, Christ had a brother who resembled him quite a bit despite having different dads. Apparently, it was Jesus' little brother named Isukiri who died on the cross, not Christ. Isukiri selflessly took his brother's place, while the latter was hightailing it back to Japan. But before Jesus fled, he supposedly took one of Isukiri's ears and a lock of the Virgin Mary's hair as a forget-me-not. Now, the talismans are buried next to Jesus' grave on the Holy Mount in Shingo.
According to lore, a 21-year-old Jesus came to Shingo.
A sign at the entrance of the village in Shingo explains the legend of Christ in Japan. It says that Christ came to Shingo when he was 21 and stayed for 12 years. This conveniently accounts for the 12 missing years of Christ's life in the New Testament. Apparently, Christ came to Japan to expand his theological knowledge. He then supposedly became a disciple of a master near Mount Fuji. He then returned to Judea when he was 33 to continue preaching the Word of God and to tell all the Israelites about Japan. Well, we all know how the story goes. They didn't really care for what Jesus had to say back in Judea.
Hey guys, thank you so much for the support and likes and comments down below, and also thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Then take care. Bye.